Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between Real Sociedad and FC Barcelona, because Barcelona did win away against this team 1-0 with a goal coming from Aubameyang and an assist coming from Ferran Torres. It was a very nerve-wracking game. I did expect Barcelona to come out and play like a beautiful game, but this was a type of game where Barcelona had to win in whatever matter. Because of the way that Sociedad has approached Barcelona in tonight's game, we're like, okay, like the way that Barcelona is playing and the amount of injuries that we have experienced on the field, we have to win no matter what and in whatever way, even if that meant that Barcelona had to play in a defensive block and then go on a counter. Like, this was just that type of game, and I'm going to be explaining why Barcelona had to approach this in this way, and you guys already know exactly why, but I am going to be taking this step by step. I am going to be talking about the first half, the second half, and then give my overall review of this game. But before we go into any of this, I do want to speak about the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app, it is the best football app that you could find within the App Store when it does come to finding out what's currently going on with your favorite player or your favorite team, what's currently going on in the league that you are following, whether it's La Liga, the Premier League, the French League, any of those leagues, any of those players, any of those teams. All of that information is going to be compact within the OneFootball app. If you do want to download the OneFootball app, you can so by scanning the QR code that you do see here on the screen with the camera that's on your phone. But if you do not have a camera, you can also just click a link that will be provided in the description box down below and on the pinned comment. That'll take you straight to the App Store. You can download the OneFootball app, set exactly who you do want to follow, and then you'll be set and done from there. It's a very informative, reliable, and free app, and you guys will not be disappointed. But now let's get back into the video, and I'm going to be starting with the starting 11 because this was a starting 11 that many of us did expect. I know that we did not see Eric Garcia or Serginho Dest, two players who have done tremendously well in the past two games, but I do believe that Xavi Hernandez wanted to rotate these two players, and that's normal. He wanted to see more of Piqué and Dani Alves because these are two players who do bring the experience. And so besides that, everything else was going very well. I like Aubameyang starting, I liked Dembélé starting, and Ferran Torres also starting. So it was a very well done starting 11. Now we go into the first half, and let me tell you guys, even though it was, yes, a little nerve-wracking, Barcelona still maintained a lot of control within this game because there were moments where we saw Real Sociedad see their chances. Barcelona almost conceded. Luckily, Real Sociedad were not 100% clinical up front, and Barcelona were gaining confidence from Real Sociedad missing those chances. Barcelona continued to move forward and gain control. I like the fact that these players knew exactly what to do every time they did held the ball in the middle of the pitch, because usually when we see these players like Gavi or Frenkie or Busquets or Alba or Dani Alves, whoever, right, any of these players lose the ball in the middle of the pitch, we end up paying the price for that. But within this game, many of the players in the front three did not lose the ball irresponsibly, and I'm glad that Xavi Hernandez has finally nailed it down to these players. So when it came to the players of Busquets, Gavi, and Frenkie, they always made the correct decisions, and especially with Frenkie, right, like he was so composed throughout that first half. He never wasted any chances. He waited for his players to run up the pitch like Dembélé and Ferran Torres and then lay off that pass towards them. He was very supportive in all areas, and we also saw Frenkie de Jong take his chances from outside the box, and so he was a clear driver within the midfield and for the front three, because he was basically the player that was considered as the beginning of the phase of the attack, and I love to see that. That is exactly what we want to see coming from Frenkie de Jong. Like, he is 24 years old. He has been here the longest within Barcelona's first team if you were to compare him to players like Gavi, Ferran Torres, and Aubameyang, three players that do play on his side, and that is again what we want to see. We want to see Frenkie de Jong take that leadership role, dictate play, begin the phase of the attack, and support these players like Gavi, Ferran Torres, and Aubameyang. And so later throughout that first half, we did see Barcelona score. We saw Ferran Torres distribute a cross inside the box. Aubameyang headers that ball into the net, and there was a goal. Aubameyang did make it 1-0 up, and this is exactly why I'm going to continue to say this, that Aubameyang, he is the best signing that Barcelona have made back in that January transfer window. His composure inside the box, his ability to always wait for the ball, whether it's crosses coming from Dembélé or Ferran Torres, that is great, and I love the chemistry that is going on between Ferran Torres and Aubameyang. And so we saw Barcelona still maintain a lot of focus even after that goal because they wanted more. They knew that this was not enough, because we know that Sociedad were going to try and find that first goal and leveled it up 1-1. Now here's the thing, right? This is where things get very interesting, because even though Barcelona's front line and the midfield were performing very, very well compared to how we performed in the past 4 to 5 games, not everything was all good. Like, for example, our defense made us the most nervous because we had a lot of trouble getting out from that defensive line. Like, players like Dani Alves and Ronald Araujo, when it came to that duo on that right flank, they always had to question, what are we going to do next? Who do I pass it to? Do I pass it to you? Do I continue to carry the ball? There was no communication between those two players, and Araujo, we always saw him many times try to back Dani Alves every time Dani Alves tried to take the ball himself down that right flank, because he had a very strange game. There were many moments where he lost concentration, he lost the ball, or he misplaced the pass, and Araujo had to be there to back him up. And so we also saw players like Ter Stegen and Gerard Piqué having a lot of miscommunications. Piqué was always in the way of Ter Stegen trying to pass the ball to either Frenkie or Busquets, and there was also moments in the game where we saw Piqué not even open up for someone like Ter Stegen, and Ter Stegen gave the ball away in the very beginning of those first 5 to 10 minutes. And so thank God that all of these mistakes that was going on, this miscommunication coming between Araujo and Dani Alves or Ter Stegen and Gerard Piqué, were at the beginning of this game. Thank God, because we grew out from these mistakes, we grew through this game, and we really made a stance against Real Sociedad, and that is why Barcelona were winning 1-0 before the 45-minute did come. But now let's go into the second half, because in the second half, the way that I would describe this whole thing is basically this. Point number one, Sociedad were the better team in that second half, but it was for a big reason. Barcelona lost all of their control, and they lost all of their control because of one other big reason. I'm not going to be too harsh on Barcelona when it comes to the second half performance, because we saw many problems. Because that defensive line that did start in the beginning of this game had their back blown out, completely blown out. And the reason why I'm saying that and what that actually means is this. All of these players, like literally all of them, Alba, Araujo, Gerard Piqué, and Dani Alves, all encountered either a injury or a massive discomfort. When it came to Piqué, he had a abductor problem since the very beginning of this game. When it came to Ronald Araujo, he experienced a massive knee pain to the point where he had to be taken out, and we saw him place an ice bag on his knee. And then we saw Jordi Alba made a very awkward stance. I have no idea what he did to himself, but I do believe that he probably like overextended his inner hamstring, or I don't even know if that exists, but basically Jordi Alba was not walking or running correctly. And then we saw Dani Alves also experience a massive discomfort, and he had to be taken out, and Serginho Dest did replace this player. And we're like, oh my god, like how unlucky can Barcelona be? The fact that Piqué, Araujo, Jordi Alba, Dani Alves all got injured or experienced a massive discomfort, that is extreme unluckiness for Xavi Hernandez. And many of us were getting very nervous because we were like, is Real Sociedad going to react to this? Do they know that these players are suffering injuries? Are they going to attack us even more and press us even more? And so I respect Dembélé even more. As a matter of fact, the fact that we saw these 4 players experience an injury, and the fact that Dembélé did not even get injured, not even once throughout these past 3 to 4 months, I'm like, man, did Dembélé really improve his physical condition? Because Dembélé has been playing the exact same amount of minutes like Gerard Piqué, Dani Alves, Jordi Alba, and many more. And so Barcelona had a lot of trouble controlling this game because of the defensive line. They could not progress, they could not think right, they were in pain all the time, and Sociedad knew. They knew exactly what was Barcelona's problem, and Sociedad wanted to attack that as much as possible. And so Xavi did had a lot to think about. And throughout that second half, to basically describe every Barcelona's fan feelings through this second half is, we were sweating, we were on our knees, we knew that Barcelona were not having a bad game. It's just we did not expect Barcelona to encounter something like this and for Barcelona to lose control. What really did save us though in the second half was the brilliance coming from Frenkie de Jong and Busquets. These two midfielders here do deserve to be one of the best players and man of the matches for this game because of the way on how they made themselves as an outlet for the defense, for them to receive the ball from the defensive line and progress the ball forward in whatever manner, whether it's a long ball to Dembélé or carrying the ball into the final third. Frenkie de Jong especially, I'm just going to continue to talk about this player again. He was always offering himself 100% of the time. He was always available. Just to put that into context, Barcelona had no control. Sociedad were putting on a show, and the fact that Sociedad were also putting on a high press in those last 10 to 20 minutes. The fact that Frenkie de Jong has stand out in the midst of all of this, you just have to applaud this player for what he did and how he upgraded his overall game. This is why I do say that it is important for Frenkie de Jong to have a great game. This is why I did say this in yesterday's pre-match preview, because when Barcelona is all gray, when they are stale, when they have no outlet and they cannot find an answer towards really solidifying a game through those 90 minutes, Frenkie de Jong does add that personality for Barcelona. And so not really much I could say within the second half in terms of Barcelona's overall performance. We were really suffering, but Barcelona won in whatever matter, and Barcelona did achieve the 3 points. And now because of this, we are 6 points clear off of 5th place, and that is all that matters. Barcelona do want to be in the top 4. We want to go into the Champions League, and we are getting closer to that goal, and tonight was that extra step. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona post-match review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.